been reduced significantly, and you can kind of farm with those abilities and not worry too much about running out of mana going into the engages. So we've just started champion select here. I believe that's Imperial with the first ban, so we'll see what comes out of them. What bans do you think we should be expecting here?
Well, these two teams, I mean, presumably they've been scouting each other a bit, so I would guess that we are going to see some respect bans as well as just general OP bans. That would be where my money is. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, the Jarvans come out straight away, obviously. Those ganks are brilliant because you can set up with your ability to move over wards.
Jarvan is really strong. I mean, he's actually a unit of measurement, Jarvan. The one Jarvan, which is the Flash EQ combo R, is a unit of measurement. One Jarvan. It's almost the full screen.
Well, I'll bear that in mind. I've never heard of that, but I like it already. Zed's come out and Lulu, so Lulu obviously a really strong support. I've got a feeling one of their players is known for playing Lulu. Somewhere in the back of my mind that's screaming out. So she's just, with that ultimate, just really strong to take out. In fact, the Zed counterband's a bit odd because Lulu is a direct counter to that Zed. So we'll see what they're worried about. And a Nidalee ban right here. So those LoL spears, they're just not wanting to eat today.
Yeah, that's. I guess maybe one of the blue team is on Nidalee a lot. It's not a ban I would have expected just based on the meta. The Elise ban coming out, that's I think a pretty common one.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, one of the strongest junglers in terms of damage and gank potential. So yeah, to eliminate that's pretty big safety net in case they pick it.
Well, she's just so incredibly versatile, and she's been a contested pick in the North American LCS for a while now, and I believe as well as in the EU West, EU LCS, not the US like that.
So Amumu being banned, which is a bit of an odd one, but obviously they're slightly worried about that CC probably going to break up their team comp. And the Zac pick coming out first, so I'm guessing that's a Zac jungle, potentially top. Really strong pick there for the jungle. What do you think?
I've been seeing a lot of him top lately. Less of him in the jungle. I've been jungling Zac recently. I picked him up just to learn him so I know him. And he is regardless strong. Looks like we might have a tree pick coming out. Oh, no tree pick.
Pony. A pony's just as good, especially if he's rocking that arcade Hecarim skin. Oh no, he locks in the tree.
Locks in the tree.
Well,
we have the Maokai and the Caitlyn.
Yeah, and the Maokai I've seen recently in solo queue once or twice, and he's actually coming back a bit. There's a bit of a space in what champions to pick at the minute. I've noticed in solo queue, bans are varying everywhere, and people are really trying out new stuff. So it's interesting to see them pick up Maokai again.
I'm main jungle, and my observation has been that the meta for junglers is shifting very slightly, and it's the adjusting to the fact that junglers now start either blue or red and then go directly to the other buff and then gank. And so clearing is not as important as it used to be. I've been actually jungling Leona a lot lately, just because clearing is not as important.
Yeah, and that Maokai gank is just huge, isn't it? You know, you've got a root that you can't miss. There's no skill shot. There's no Elise net right there. So yeah, Maokai's a really strong pick. And looking at later into the game, you have that Zac Let's Bounce, and they're gearing up for a bit of AoE comp. So the Maokai ultimate could do some good work in reducing the Imperial's damage.
Definitely help there.
Yeah, and the Karma coming out. I mean, I've seen Karma mid a few times, and the damage is actually surprisingly high. It's not so much huge burst, but just a massive sustained damage over a fight, and the troll shield that she provides is really strong. So nice to see that coming out.
Indeed. Karma's actually been played, one of the North American teams I think picked her up in the jungle.
Yeah,
strangely enough.
Oh, it's been changed to Lux
Not
right
a
now.
Karma. Looks like we've got a Lux that's presumably a Lux mid, and my favorite support, Leona, going in.
And switching to the Rumble now, so really not sure of what they're going to pick right now. And the Janna being switched up here. So the Rumble ultimate's obviously huge, coupled with that Maokai ultimate. It means that you can lock them up in one place in order to get the most out of the Maokai ultimate and keep that down for as long as you want without breaking it. And the damage is crazy. It's AoE damage with it. Not so much as the burst as half a year ago or so, but still, if you sit on that for a long enough time, it's huge.
Yeah, no, it is. It is a lot of damage as well as the slow. It's a nice control, and it will, as you said, it will help keep them in the Maokai ult. Along with, of course, the knock-up from Janna will help keep them there. So it looks like they may be trying to hold them inside the Maokai ult while Caitlyn just stands there pounding away. We've got an Ahri and a Teemo coming out. We'll see if Teemo actually stays.
I'd love to see a Teemo.
Didn't think
but
so.
No.
Teemo as an AD carry is not competitively viable, shall we say.
Especially against that Caitlyn with that crazy range. You're not even going to get into a decent range to get your blind off, so the harass would be devastating. I mean, the Caitlyn pick I really like. They probably anticipated that Ahri pick, and it means with the 650 range that rather than one Spirit Rush getting straight on top of you, that Ahri might have to spend a bit more of her ultimate in order just to get on top of the Caitlyn. So I think that's a really good, maybe a preemptive pick. Maybe they were just lucky. We'll see. And in terms of how they're going to play this, do you think we're going to see any lane switches right here? Obviously, the Caitlyn and the Janna push is really strong.
I don't know. It really depends. Do we have a last pick, or is my client bugged?
Lux has literally just been locked.
There we go. It was the music stopped and it was just sort of sitting there, and I was worried if it was crash or not. But it looks like it's fine. No need to worry. Looks like we're going to have the Lux coming in.
The only thing I'd say about this Lux is obviously she's going to be paired up against the Ahri at mid lane. And Lux doesn't do bad if she can catch her with a combo, then Ahri's in a really good position. However, if that Shen is really hot on his ultimate, they're going to be able to turn that fight over and over again, because Lux really depends on those cooldowns. Obviously, she has to expend the majority in order to get an engage off. So if Shen can stop her cooldowns and then get on top of her, she's going to blow up each time.
She is. However, coming out of Imperial, it looks like they have a really strong poke comp here. That is Imperial, isn't it?
I believe Aberystwyth is on the right with Imperial. Yeah, so yeah. I believe their poke comp is incredible, and the Janna disengage coupled with a Rumble disengage, that ultimate's so versatile to go in aggressive and defensive, means that they could just potentially wait for the fights.
Yeah, that does look like an extremely strong siege comp there.
Yeah,
and we are into the delay. I will go ahead and switch off picks and bans.
Beautiful. So I'll let you do that, and then we can discuss what do you expect from the jungle invades here. Do you think they're going to try anything with these two comps looking how they are?
I don't know. Zach is a really strong jungler. He's tough to invade on. Any jungler that can start at either of his buffs and just not care is tough to invade on, because it's the other team. If you invade, you run a 50% chance you're going to run into him, and a 50% chance you're not, and that uncertainty is dangerous.
Yeah, definitely.
Maokai absolutely has to start blue.
Yeah, and purple team, so they're on top side, are they? Aren't they?
Yeah, blue is bot. That's how I always remember.
Blue bot, yeah. Beautiful. So purple team are on top side, and we see this normality now of the jungler in fact starting to side where their AD carry and support are to get as much help as possible. So we're going to be expecting
it is. Yeah, I've started doing that in the jungle as well. It's quite strong. You get to start there, and ganking from top side is a much stronger gank.
Yeah.
Because you can gank top, which typically isn't warded that early, and you can gank mid from the top side of the lane, which is a slightly easier gank.
And with the Maokai here, you could be expecting, if they do happen to lane switch, looking for that level 3 gank on top under turret to make the early turret grab for the Team ABBA. Team ABBA. We're calling it Team ABBA, aren't we? Beautiful. So it's going to be interesting. Zach obviously is brilliant at sticking under the turret, so he might head up to that top side if that happens and just try and defend that turret with that troll passive that he has, catching out many a pro in last week's LCS.
Indeed.
I noticed. So
the Cell Division is an extremely strong passive.
Yeah, so strong, especially in that early game where you think you might have that little bit of damage in order to take him out, but it just doesn't come off. You end up taking too many tower hits and dying fairly easily if you decide to dive with Zach right now. So.
Yeah. And on the flip side, Zach is a fantastic diver, and coming out of the jungle, he is going to be a very scary thing to be ganking. The Stretch Armstrong, what is the name of it? Elastic Slingshot. The Stretch Armstrong elastic slingshot is just so strong. I mean, you can come from almost a full Jarvan away.
A full Jarvan away, yes. Yeah, perfect use of that phrase right there. So we're loading into the game right now. I'm kind of gonna be expecting from the Imperial team a kind of sustain early buy, so in order to get that Shen to 6 comfortably and not give any kills away really. If they can get to that 6, they're looking in really good stead. Ezreal and Sona all comboed up is destructive, and Ari, as soon as she hits that 6, it's the time to get up and go aggressive straight onto your mid at that point. What do you think? What kind of buys are we going to look at?
I don't know.
Well, you're really unsure, right? That's all right. I mean, from the opposite side, from ABBA, I'm gonna think of that they're gonna head towards that slightly more aggressive early game. Maybe Lux sacrifices pots and a ward in order to get that early Doran's Blade. She's gone for the Ignite,
possibly.
which sometimes you often don't see on Lux's because she kind of has those low CD, low cooldown spells. But
low cooldown, and Lux typically wants to be at long range, and Ignite has an awfully short range. That's why so many AD carries have stopped running it, is because they do not want to get close enough to use it. And if you see an Ignite in the bot lane, you often see it on the support.
Yeah. So obviously, I think with that in mind, she's looking to play a fairly aggressive early game and to push that Ari out of lane and get the level 6 ahead of her. That's what I'd be looking to do if I was playing the mid lane right here. Zach loading in pretty slow right now. He needs to get his hamsters to move a bit faster.
He does.
I could recommend a good pet food shop to boost his hamsters.
Get him some energy drinks or something.
Yeah. Put them in the little water dispenser. They won't know. They'll love it. Hopefully RSPCA aren't watching right now, because that would be awkward. So, I mean, I'm running out of things to say. His computer's so slow.
We could talk about the skins. We've got Festive Maokai, who's a nice limited edition there. However, they do have TPA Ezreal, Arcade Sona, Frozen Shen, and Dynasty Ari.
So they technically have more skins.
They do technically have more skins.
Straight away gives them the advantage.
It is intimidating.
Yeah, definitely. And banners now, and we can move on to banners. Imperial? Oh no, we're into game. Here we go. Thank you. Thank God.
Thankfully.
Okay, so the buy is straight away. Doran's Blade as expected on both AD carries. Rumble opting for the early Doran Shield. As is Shen, which is a bit peculiar against the Rumble. It's not going to be one to block those auto attacks at all.
And the obligatory pause comes down.
I think they may be watching our stream and hearing how we're struggling. Straight back into the game. It's fine. we're going, guys. Okay, so both teams looking possibly to invade. Purple team pinging both the blue side and their red side. I think they're going to head towards the red bush. Perhaps get an early ward there to stop the invade. The blue at the same time are heading to their tri-brush, and I think they're going to try and sneak a gank on this blue straight away, a first blood on this blue. So we'll see how that goes.
Looks like they're moving forward slowly but tentatively. It looks like they may not want to get a hard engage, whereas the blue team
30
is
seconds
sitting
to minion spawn.
Yeah, and purples are sitting right on top of the ward, so they know full well this is coming. They're gonna back off. The blue team gonna back off to anticipate this red invade and potentially catch them in a really vulnerable place. Caitlyn now moving around to check the bush. They're gonna sit there, but the blue team haven't actually managed to get a ward there, so they have no vision on who's gonna in. Look, finding two members of the blue side up. Both teams are heading low now. Rumble's committed a bit too far, but he's landed this beautiful flash. He goes down as well. Shen's giving away the first blood. Janna also falling. Both teams have lost. No, in fact, blue team lost 2 members, while the purple team only lost 1 due to the Zac giving up his passive right there.
Yeah, the Cell Division passive getting procced early there, and definitely saving them some trouble.
Yeah, I mean, that does remove that possibility of diving early. But Zac actually being brought very low by this red buff.
But particularly on a jungler, dying at level 1 is so easy. It just slows you down so much. So having that passive has kept him in this game.
And Zac's standing there looking as if he's DC'd. Maybe his hamsters have given up the ghost now. Yeah, but Paul's going down. So that invade right there, what went wrong for the blue team? I mean, you'd have thought they'd have come out of that, for the purple team, sorry. You'd have thought they'd have come out of that fine after the blue team not actually having any vision in the bush that the Shen taunted into.
Yeah, that was a very brave taunt there.
And as well as that, they could have easily been sitting at the back of that bush, you know, and it could have been totally missed. I think the purple team should have perhaps anticipated that ward. They actually scouted out pretty late in terms of that position. If they'd have got a member on that ramp, they'd possibly seen the Sona drop a ward right there. So how's that going to affect the lanes in terms of, you know, a kill going down for the Rumble, and obviously Ari and Sona picking one up elsewhere?
Well, Rumble hadn't played his however, he took a gank.
Yeah, and Shen and Zac both landed a couple of brilliant CCs right there. Rumble tries to turn. They may bring down the Zac. Maokai blows his flash to get on top of him, and with the double buff, he's going to bring it down. But Shen's looking in really good form here, laying down lots of damage onto the Maokai as he tries to run back to the turret and does so. I mean, was the Rumble right to turn there? He landed a good flash as he was trying to escape, and do you think the Maokai could have handled the 2 on his own?
I haven't played Maokai in so long, I do not know, to be honest. I think he made the right call getting out of there, though.
Yeah, definitely. Shen's damage is actually deceptively large, even that early game. Every time his passive comes up, obviously that's a big burst of damage right there. So,
well, coupled with the shield, I mean, you take a lot more damage than you would expect.
Yeah, and the cooldown's so low. If he's not having to expend energy on that taunt, he can keep on throwing out his Vulpal blades and, as you say, his shield. So, Ezreal actually managing to play pretty aggressive against the Caitlyn. Caitlyn tends to match up pretty fine against Ezreal normally when playing solo queue, in my opinion. But he's actually taken the 8 CS early lead, so it's looking pretty good right now. Possibly the 2 assists early game, giving him that little bonus with the health bots right there.
Yeah, indeed. Looks like we've got a bit of a trade coming down at top with Rumble and Shen. Just some damage coming down. Both of them are pretty tanky though, so nothing comes of it.
Yeah. I mean, the
Rumble
Rumble...
coming in on Ari. Just switching advance, locking it down. The Charm coming down, stopping from getting anything. Zach coming in to back her up, and no deaths coming out of that, although Ari will have to back.
She's looking like she wants to hang around. She sees those 2 minions now on low HP, and just gonna take that. Probably gonna grab another Doran's ring, if I'd have thought, against that Lux. Picking up some health to make sure she can't one-shot her at that level 6 mark. Maokai actually looking to play aggressive here again. He knows that flash is down, so if he can get out, land his CC or Lux bind and can catch Eric. It's going to go now. Nope, doesn't quite have the range to land on Stary. She's playing very passive, but it means that she's in fact possibly even out of experience range there. Definitely going to lose CS.
Yeah, the Lux just has such a long range that she can zone so easily somebody at low health. Bot lane's pushed up to the tower. Some harass coming down, nothing coming of it though.
Nope, and that CS lead slowing up now, only 10 CS ahead from Ezreal. Maokai's going to try and come in and land his entangling roots right there. However, he hasn't actually got his mobility boots yet, and that's when you really see those Maokais looking dangerous, because they, as you saw twice now, he's just walked into lane when they've not been in a particularly dangerous position. If you have those mobility boots, you can literally walk into lane and straight away get a gank.
Yeah, that speed is so key on a jungler. Just being able to get in the lane, get from lane to lane, that high mobility is just so valuable.
Yeah, definitely. Shen's actually hit his level 6, Rumble's still level 5. He walks into Zax's rush here and is going to get lots of damage down on him. However, he has to turn and run because the Shen's coming with his taunt right there. Indeed. So Rumble's actually being zoned pretty well with not knowing where that Zac is right now. He's walking over to his golems. He's trying to get that level 6 desperately, so if the Shen happens to ulti away, he can potentially burn lots of his HP down. He hasn't actually got the ability to disrupt the Shen ulti, which could actually be a problem right here.
No, and that is going to be rough. Laning against the Shen, one of the key things is the ability to keep him in lane and keep him from getting out of there.
I mean, he has set up for that with his teleport. However, obviously, I think the teleport cooldown's quite a bit longer than the Shen's ulti cooldown, especially if Shen's going to build some CDR. Aerie just landing a taunt and a charm, and a Q. The name escapes me. But
Charm.
standard.
Her taunt is charm.
Orb of Deception, there you go. Thank you, my friend. That saves the embarrassment. Lux picking up a blue right now, but actually a few minions fall into a tower. So Aerie's taking a 10 CS lead, and she's also going to head over towards the blue.
It looks like we might have an early dragon attempt coming out here. Maokai and Janna on dragon. Caitlyn coming up, Lux coming down. It is late, so the blue team just has no idea that it's going on.
Yeah, and they don't even seem to be reacting. The Zona's quickly trying to get over there now to drop the ward, but Aerie doesn't even come in there face check. She's just a bit late now. The Maokai could land his entangling roots, but he backs off as the dragon has taken him down to half HP.
Yeah, they
the
just
Zac
simply
has
didn't
just
have...
picked up his red buff as well. Sorry about that.
Yeah, they simply did not have vision on it. Zac invading, taking the red while they are doing dragon. So at least they got something.
And the goal different is only 400G right now. Obviously, blue team CSing quite a bit better than the purple team right now. So the dragon not benefiting purple as much as they'd like right now.
No, but I mean, they're also going to get the timer on that, which will allow them to control future dragons a lot stronger. Particularly as I'm not even sure the blue team has any idea it's gone.
And they engage going down from the Zac here into top lane. However, the Shen's constantly slightly late to react. Possibly a bit of a problem with communication there. Zac's coming in when there's large minion waves sitting there for Shen, and he's just not committing to the gank.
They-
Rumble has warded that Tri-Brush now, so he's been a bit more cautious.
Yeah, they do seem awfully intent on ganking this Rumble. Flash coming down, Rumble coming down, and they get the kill.
Yep, and that Rumble was really unlucky right there. He landed a brilliant flash away against a flash away from the Shen taunt. However, the Let's Bounce coming out from Zac to knock him up and give him that CC they needed in order to get enough damage down onto the Rumble. And what do you think of the Haunting Guise buy right here from Rumble? Is that, is that making him a bit squishy versus this team, or would you have expected that?
Haunting Guise is just an incredibly strong item overall. Spell Pen generally is pretty undervalued by a lot of people, and I think Haunting Guise on Rumble as an early item is definitely a good choice, particularly as it leads into a Leandri's Torment, which is going to allow Rumble to just load that flamethrower on burn him down to a percentage of HP, which is going to be doubled if he picks up a Relies Scepter, which is quite a common buy on Rumble.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously you've got the health as well, so the problem with potentially being too squishy is probably overcome with the 200 extra health. A lot of people in fact build a bit of MR versus Shen, because if that Shen is stacking any AP at all, which has got only 5 from the Ignite or Armor Pen, Magic Pen, his Vorpal Blades do quite a significant amount of cope.
Well, and his passive as well, his T-Strike deals magic damage as well, so he deals magic damage scaling off his health. But what I think Rumble has done is just recognize that they have a Zac and a Shen who are both going to be stacking a lot of HP and wants that with Leandri's Torment.
Yeah, definitely. And he's got abilities that can constantly clear. The Shen actually taunting in here, trying to get a bit of harass out, trying to gauge how vulnerable Rumble is right now. But Rumble can just shrug it off. He's going to continue to CS and is still stacking those health pots. So his sustain's looking pretty good now, even versus Shen. Only a 4 CS difference between the top lane right now.
Indeed, it does seem to be a pretty standard sort of tanky bruiser battle where they just sort of slap at each other for most of the time and farm.
Yeah, definitely. Ari actually looking pretty dominant in this lane now. I saw the Lux pinging just a second ago, looking for a gank. I think she's feeling really vulnerable versus this Ari. She's not quite built that much AP yet, so I don't know how she's faring all in, whether she'd be able to bring that Lux down in time. But Lux...
Oh, we have a gank coming down bot and a kill on Janna. The Rumble teleports down, Flamethrower coming out, Equalizer coming down.
And the Channel's actually gone on top of the
zone.
That was an invisible channel. The Lux laser picking up the Rumble right there, and the entangling root's going down on Zac. Eri comes in with her ultimate, gets down on top of the Caitlyn and picks her up. She is dropped low by the Lux. Great taunt coming out from Shen, and they're going to try and bring her down. However, Zac is very low. He has got his passive up, I believe, so he's just going to walk away from that. But both teams trailing 2 people there, I believe.
Yeah, it was a decent trade. Not really sure either of them came out ahead on that one, though.
No, it was incredibly deceptive. The Shen ultimate was really well done. The Sonya walked into the bush, so they were unaware that the Shen was coming in, and it meant he could land a very good taunt on top of the Rumble right there. And it really turned the fight, the Shen, as you'd expect from Shen. He's actually going to try and deal some decent damage on top of the Janna. However, the Rumble's back into that top lane, and he's just going to be farming up and potentially pushing the tower, so he's going to want to get back pretty soon.
And the one thing to be noted here is that Maokai has picked up his blue and not given it to Lux. Now Lux is definitely a mid laner who can use that blue to PDR. It's so valuable on her, but it's also really valuable on Maokai.
Yeah, she's opting to build the Chalice of Harmony, and she's got to have some sustain with her mana. However, the blue buff for the cooldown, as much as cooldown reduction, as much as anything, is really valuable as well. So Ari might actually be able to snowball this lane, now taking a 25 CS lead. And at this point in the game, that's about a Doran's ring, if not a little more. So, you know, you don't want to be losing, being behind by that much CS versus Ari at the minute.
That is a pretty big lead.
Rumbles actually head down to mid lane. Murphy entangling routes to the Irish. So ultimate gets 2 spirit rushes away, and it's enough just to avoid the gank right now. Shen's coming in across to try and get an engage with the Zac right here. It's gonna charge up that elastic shot I just thought pretty soon. Stone actually going in with the ultimate. Zac pops left bounce, but he gets on top of the Rumble and Murphy, but it's not the target he wants. Caitlyn sitting at the back, manages to get a lot of damage off, and they pop his cell division right there. They're gonna try and defend it. Ezreal taking a lot of damage from the looks of it. Shen comes in with a brilliant taunt. Rumble's low on HP, gonna chase down that Zac and pick him up. Janna's just gonna walk back to the turret, and Lux is being chased down by the Shen right now. She's only on about 100 HP. Janna's there with a shield. So Ari actually picked up a triple kill right there, and it looks like they're gonna head over towards Baron. They should have the damage, and the Shen should be able to tank it. So what went wrong for the purple team right there?
Well, it looked like they just got dived on and maybe was slightly out of position.
Blue team slain the dragon.
And I think vision-wise, I mean, they were looking pretty strong, the purple team. However, in this bottom bush, the blue side managed to drop a ward, and the Rumble was trying to come back in to pick up some kills. Land those electric harpoons, and as the blue team were on quite low HP there. So with the wards right in there, I think they managed to anticipate that, and the Shen landed an absolutely perfect taunt on top of him.
Yeah.
So, I mean, a lot of wards coming out from both teams as well, which is brilliant to see. You know, I hate as exciting as it is to commentate on people face checking bushes and getting blowed up. I hate to see it. I just feel bad for the player.
I don't mind it so much when it's on the other team, but
So Ezreal actually doing a really good job down here. Caitlyn has caught up on CS. However, he's got those 6 assists and a kill ahead of her, and he's already finished off his Triforce, which is a popular build on Ezreal right now, to replace that blue build at the minute that we're seeing.
yeah, ever since they buffed Triforce to yield double base damage on the Sheen proc part of it. That's become a lot more popular.
Yeah, but it's great with obviously Ezreal's what do you call it, mystic shot, sorry, because it applies it. So Caitlyn should actually have been playing more aggressive early game, I'd have said. She requires that early game harass in order to really get strong, and she might actually have a mid-game lull. So they're going to try and push down this bottom turret with the Ezreal and the Zac there for backup. And none of the purple team are anywhere near to defend, so I think they can take this turret easily. Blue area also going that, taking looks down at mid. She picked up that triple kill, and it's just snowballed her out of control in the mid lane, as we said earlier.
Looks like they may even be pushing down a second tower in the bot lane.
Yeah, and you know, they managed to keep a lot of minions alive after first push, and with that area taken out, that mid lane looks, they know exactly where the jungler is because he's having to defend that turret. So they're just going to pick up the blue, back off here as the Rumbles head down as well. A great Rumble equalizer coming out for a stone counter with a brilliant ulti on top of that, 3 or 4 of them there, and Shen following up with a good taunt. Zac got onto their backline, just popped Dex bounce, dealing quite a bit of damage now on Janna. He's keeping up with her, and I think she's going to drop to Aerial Spirit Rush right there. Looks just a bit late into that fight after being taken down. The Caitlyn's trying to pick someone off with Ace in the hole, but
just blocked, yeah.
Yeah, just blocked. You know, that's a real issue with that Caitlyn ultimate is the fact that how easy it is to block. You know, you often see them expending the ultimate just as a little bit of poke, and I think it's actually a bit redundant later in the game, in my opinion.
It is very much a cleanup tool for when a fight goes your way. When you're losing the fight, that ult is next to useless because there's nobody to pick off with it. So many people are left alive that you just can't hit somebody without being lost.
Yeah, definitely. After that blue fight, after that dragon fight, blue team actually looking to be snowballing this game right now. How can purple team pull this back around, do you think? Any ideas?
They are absolutely going to have to control the objectives. They have not taken a single tower yet. They got the early dragon, but I believe they lost the second dragon, correct?
Yeah, they lost the second one.
And the kill deficit they're running right now. I mean, they're running 9 kills behind, with about a 17 gold lead coming out of the blue team.
Yeah, and in terms of, I mean, they've got decent wave clear, so they could potentially turtle onto these turrets. However, I mean, the blue team have a decent clear, decent tankiness to be able to tank out that Baron and force it if they want to.
Indeed, as well, and they also have, I mean, they have a very strong engage off of the elastic slingshot coming off of Zac. You can throw a Shen ult onto him as well, and suddenly you've got both of them just in the middle of their team. And the purple team, as we mentioned earlier, has sort of a poke and siege comp, but when you have such a strong engage onto that sort of comp, it really counters it hard, and you're going to be relying on the Janna to get the team out of there.
Yeah, definitely. Look, actually getting picked out again by the Irish. She tried to land the ultimate onto the edge, she just spirit rushes forward, and with all that extra AP she's picked up off all the kills that she's now got, she's just blowing looks up every time. You know, that's where the pick on the summon spell Ignite is kind of flawed. She'd have been much better off with either an exhaust or a barrier right there.
Yeah, that definitely is not serving her all that well. And Shen just up top, taking the tower like a boss, pretty much ignoring Rumble, just telling him it tickles a little bit.
And that's the real threat of a Shen. If you can lock him down in terms of him being able to 1v1 a top laner, you're in real big trouble because you're going to have to send 2 or 3 to stop him, and that means that you can just walk around as the rest of the blue team and take what you like right there.
Yeah, and just to note that Zac and Sona just picked up Dragon as well, which is going to put the purple team even farther behind.
Yeah, and ping's coming down on mid lane. I think Zac's going to look to dive this. They definitely have the damage, but a good ward from the gunner. Ari rushing in with Spirit Rush, pops the looks. Jenna tries the ultimate in order to save her teammate, but they're just going to walk away from turret after Zac tanked a lot of the damage out right there. Shen actually picking up top turret as well. Engage coming down from Murphy, the aerial ultimate's down, so she should be blown up right here. Zac re-engages with a let's bounce, however he's just not got the damage to pick up anyone. Shen's coming in, picks Janna up with the Vorpal Blade. Rumble taking a lot of damage here and being brought down. Caitlyn and Murphy left behind. Murphy's picked up by the elastic slingshot, but not enough damage in order to bring him down. Well, they're going to go on top of him with that burst that he'll have right now from the Triforce. Yeah,
so much damage coming down on Maokai. You just cannot take it.
Yeah, and that's, as you were saying earlier, you know, Zac's dive is, he can take a lot of damage, he can rely on his passive in order to get back out afterwards. And he actually deals quite a bit of damage right now. He's built pure tank, but he might have some magic pen, runes or masteries in there, which is causing him to deal a lot of damage to the backline.
Indeed, and Zac's W, his unstable matter, deals % health damage. I mean, that's one of the reasons he is just so strong right now, is because he has that % max health damage on a 4-second cooldown at max ranks, I believe.
Yeah, definitely. You know, if you can be a threat to both the weaker members of the team and the tanks, then you're in good stead in team fights. Sona actually picking up an oracles here, so I think they're going to be looking to force this Baron soon enough. And I don't know whether you're witnessing this, but the Sona animation was going doolally there for me. Did Ezreal manage to pick that blow up? No, he just missed it with his ultimate though. Good attempt.
Good try, but that ultimate is just so slow traveling that it is hard to hit things with it.
Yeah, definitely. Zach trying to catch out the Maokai right there, but there's a decent ward put down by Jenna by their Wolves camps, and that's just going to mean that the engage from Zach isn't quite as strong. Zach is getting caught out here as blue team are actually trying to take the Baron buff right now. Purple team have no vision, so they're going to be able to take this fairly safely unless they're alerted to it from their instincts. Ezreal and Zach doing a really good job of just trying to bait the engage. Ezreal being away from them. He's actually got caught. Great dodge on the Lux binding. Zach's going to come in and try and disengage, but the Caitlyn finishes off the Ezreal. It doesn't matter right now because the Baron's actually at about a quarter HP, and Purple team haven't even poked their nose in yet to see what's going on. So they're going to take this totally, pretty much free, sacrificing the Ezreal for it right now.
Yeah, blue team is definitely dominating the game on the vision front. I mean, they just keep taking things and not giving the purple team a chance to even see it.
Yeah, and you know they're playing it really well as a team that are ahead. You know, they're letting that Shem split push and taking the bottom objectives. They're then just trying to bait the purple team's time out as much as possible in order to take the Baron. And that's really how you manage to finish a game, just keeping ahead with the gold by a significant amount until you can actually dive on top of them. So they're playing it really well right here, blue team. And purple team, I can't really see how they can get back into it if blue keep on doing the correct things over and over again.
Well, I mean, the bottom line for purple is that they need to regain some map control here. They just have no reliable vision of what's going on for the most part, because I mean, as you said, Sona picked up that oracles. They've been buying pink eyes all over the place, and so it's very difficult for them to see anything when all their wards are being cleared. But I mean, that is got to be a priority for them, because if they don't know what's going on, they simply cannot respond to it.
Yeah, definitely. And with the split push that's actually going down from Shen and Ezreal, it's going to leave a few of the blue team's members vulnerable. So if you have that vision, then you can rush those engages straight away, especially with the great Maokai ability to get off his entangling roots without any risk of missing it. So blue team just sieging right now. Aries catches out Maokai and hasn't actually blown her ultimate. She may look to Spirit Rush in now, but instead chooses just to back away and leave Maokai on about 5 HP right there. Ezreal actually looks getting caught there with a charm, and Aries doing a really good job of poking against this team right now. It may mean that they can take this bottom in-hit turret, however they don't have the minion wave there to do so yet.
Yeah, they are just sieging the bottom turret. Meanwhile, Shen is basically got the top turret.
Yeah, brilliant play there from Shen, and you know, to have a Shen in your team really relies on good communication and having confidence that he's going to get the ulti off at the right time when the fight comes to it. Zach landing on top of the Lux. Aries Spirit rushes in, gets on top of the Janna, but she lands a great monsoon, pushing them away. Lux is eventually brought down, as is Janna by the Ezreal, by the Zac, sorry. Maokai actually taking a lot of damage here versus the Ezreal, but the Ezreal has been brought too low by the Purple's team next to the turret. Rumble's going to try and pick off this Sona, however Sona kept that ultimate up, and Rumble is forced to flash away. Maokai now trying to get on top of the Zac. The Caitlyn still getting some damage now. Aerie landing a great charm on top of the Caitlyn, just blowing her up. However, she manages to land another good flash. Ace in the hole coming out from the Caitlyn, but it was blocked by the Aerie, and then now I'm going to take this inhib and top inhib for that engage right there.
Indeed, and that whole engagement was 4v5. I mean, Shen just spent the entire time wailing on that engagement.
Yeah.
That has got to sting for the purple team, knowing that they can't even win a 4v5.
Yeah, and you know, the Shen's still a threat here and is on full HP. The ultimate coming in on top of Ari now, and she's going to try and deal some damage onto Shannon. The Orb of Deception finishing off the Rumble there, and then the Janna manages to get blown up by a Charm and Ares Spirit Fire, sorry. I can't remember the name of the ability. Murkai walking down on low HP as that Ignite burns, but Caitlyn picking up the Zac with the Pilt over Peacemaker right there. So Purple team managed to reclaim a kill or two, but I think they still chased too far. You know, that Shen ultimate was up, and when that's up, the Ares damage can just be extortionate, as she's not really got to worry about her position.
The blue teams just stayed slightly too long there if they wanted to live. However, I think that was a calculated thing where they realized they could just take 2 inhibitors, trade a couple kills for it, and still be up.
Yeah,
with
definitely.
Kills.
And they're just going to walk, take a back right there, pick up some items. Shen actually opted for a Triforce himself there, so he's going to be dealing a lot of damage, and if he wants to get onto that back line, he's going to get straight through there. He'll probably easily be able to pick up a kill or two on his own right there.
That is definitely an interesting choice on Shen, the Triforce. I'm not sure it's superior to the Blade of the Ruined King, just because the Bork also gives you some healing ability in the asset, but I think the blue team is far enough ahead that they can afford to do that sort of thing.
Yeah, and that phage actually being changed to movement speed on each hit, 20 movement speed on each hit from the phage, and then a 60 movement speed if you pick up a kill, which is actually pretty good for Shen. You know, it means that you don't have to rely on slowing them, you can just keep on top of them, which means your Sunfire Cave is going to be burning constantly. So just one turret left, inhib turret left now for the purple team, and they're going to actually have to keep this Rumble in the top lane in order to deal with the super minions. So blue team should be pretty free to engage right now if they so wish. Janna hasn't laid any decent wards outside of these walls. Just going to leave them really vulnerable. A great catch on the Ezreal though, he managed to get away. Let's Bounce coming down from the Zac, and Janna monsooning to disengage. However, Ares actually left in the back behind there in him, and she picks up the Lux, followed by the Caitlyn. They're chasing down on top of the Rumble right now, and it looks like this could be GG unless they spend too much time trying to pick up this Rumble, but he finally goes down. That leaves them 20 seconds in order to push through the base, and super minions coming into the top and bottom lane right now, so it's looking probable that that's GG.
Yeah, I'm not sure chasing Rumble was the right call. I mean, I think they could have just pushed down the towers and ignored him, but I'm not sure it's going to matter.
Janna just up, Murkai up, no real threat yet. They're just going to deal this damage onto this Nexus and take it into the game. Ari actually going to try and pick up a quick cheeky kill before the game ends, but fails to do so. So, what mistakes were painfully obvious to you there by the purple team?
They lost the map control really early. They picked up a first sort of a cheeky dragon, but after that, I mean, it was just a dominant performance all around from the other team. Yeah,
definitely. And I don't know whether we're going to go straight into the second game or going to have a bit of a break, but while you're sitting there listening to us go on, if you would like to find out more about the Newell tournament, please visit either our Facebook page or our website, the website being www.thenewell.com, or our Facebook page being facebook.com/The Newell UK. The Newell spelled Nuel, if you're wondering, and you're a little bit slow. I'll give you that because I'm awful at spelling myself. Do you know what's going on right now? Are
I
we
got
gonna
an
have?
invite to something that seems to have disappeared, so I'm not entirely sure what's happened.
Yeah, but I need to join the spectator mode. That's the problem right here. Theory's in the way. I'm just going to ask these teams if they're ready to go straight away or whether we'd like a little bit of a break.
Yeah, I got the invite, but it's being a bit strange. I might need to relog the client. However, I've got someone in the chat asking if we can move the logos because of the interface being a bit screwed up. So I don't know. I'm a little reluctant to move them about while it's being out of game.
So if I talk a bit about last game while we're waiting, I think in order for in order for Aberystwyth, I almost said it then, to reclaim the second game in this best of three, I think they're going to really have to look at their comp and look where it failed. In my opinion, they went too much along the damage route with the Lux and the Rumble, and it meant that the CC was really effective versus them. Even with the disengage from the Janna, they couldn't really catch anyone there. Would you expect to see a totally different comp coming out from ABBA, or do you think they're a bit of a one-trick pony?
I haven't seen enough of ABBA to say that for certain or other. I definitely think the Pope comp didn't work there. I think part of it was due to I'm sorry, that was we had the teams mixed up, I think. Imperial was purple and ACOG was blue.
Oh God. I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it would
ABBA,
be great if they had the
won
little
that
name
game.
tags. Maybe they can invest in name changes and rep their teams next time just to make it a bit easier for me. That would be great.
Yeah, ABBA, I'm not sure whether or not it was intentional, but they had a very strong engage with the Zac. I mean, that's one of the reasons Zac is a tier 1 jungler at the moment, is that Stretchy Armstrong elastic slingshot he's got just allows him to jump into the middle of the team and
just destroy it.
Just destroy it. Maokai is not generally considered a high tier jungler, and I think the Imperial was really going for a poke comp that game, but with the Shen taunt, with the Ahri charm, and with the elastic slingshot coming out of Zac, they just could not maintain the distance and be able to poke. I mean, if you think back about the team fights, all of them were hard engages, and there was really no time Imperial were able to effectively disengage from ABBA.
Yeah, definitely, and I think both the comp was really well thought about by the ABBA team. You know, the Shen and the Zac managed to lock up many of the targets, and the Ahri actually did a brilliant job of just picking up kill after kill and basically snowballing that game for them. The Ezreal as well is some constant damage that you can rely on during team fights and clear up after the team fights. So they did a really good job in that champion select phase, and it worked out really well for them. Do you think they'll run the same comp again in order to close out the second game and win the best of three, or do you think that that's a easily countable comp that they're going to want to change up a bit going into this next match?
I think they would be fools not to run Zac and Shen if Imperial gives it to them.
Yeah.
I mean, Shen is just one of those champions that is considered typically a must-pick or ban basically at all levels of play. I mean, even down in Cardboard 5, where so many of us are, it's... I mean, you pick him or you ban him, or you hope the other team doesn't know what they're doing and let him have him, because he is just so strong. And in competitive play, when you have the communication to call out the ult, You don't get in solo queue for you'll get a Shen ult and the person will be running away because they won't realize it or won't even know what a Shen ult does. But in competitive play, when you've practiced it, Shen is just so strong.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the pros say he's a must pick or ban, and it's hard to argue with people who play this game for a living.
Yep, and Solo Mate has been holding the flag for the global comp for years now, and it's still just so strong. It's not so much the strength individually of each character, but in order just to have that person on the map whenever you want is just an incredible bonus for your team. But also the fact that when you're playing against it, you're constantly hesitant of any engage, and that's what global presence really means is that lurking in the back of the mind, the fact that Shen could come into your lane at any time.
Yeah, and global ultimates have just traditionally been a problem for Riot. I mean, Twisted Fate, Nocturne, Pantheon, Gangplank is the only global ultimate that they haven't touched. I mean, the Soraka ultimate, the Karthus ultimate, they've all received, for the most part, cooldown nerfs or range nerfs.
Are you receiving the invites to this game lobby?
I received some invites, and I clicked accept, and nothing happened. So I'm relogging my client in the hopes that fixes it.
Okay. While we wait on that, what do you think